Hello and welcome to Listen to English. This is a B1 level English listening practice video. If you want to practice other levels, please check our channel for more videos. Today's story is about Clara and what she learned from her Japanese neighbor, Mrs. Tanaka. It's a story about food, kindness, and friendship. If you find this video useful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with a friend. Let's listen and enjoy.
Hi everyone, my name is Clara, and today I want to tell you a story that started with an empty lunchbox and ended with a full heart. Yes, that sounds poetic, I know, but trust me, it's true. It all began on a regular Tuesday morning. I was working from home, half dressed in a nice blouse and pajama pants, the usual Zoom meeting uniform. By noon, my stomach started complaining, loudly. I opened my fridge and realized the only things inside were a jar of pickles, 2 eggs, and something that might have been cheese last week. So I did what any responsible adult would do. I ordered takeout. Again, while waiting for the delivery, I stepped out to get some air. That's when I saw her, my new neighbor, Mrs. Tanaka. She was standing in her small garden, carefully trimming tiny green plants with scissors that looked more precise than surgical tools. I waved and said, "Good afternoon, those look beautiful." She smiled and bowed slightly. "Thank you. They are shiso leaves, very good for lunch." I had no idea what shiso was, but I nodded like I did. "Ah, yes, shiso, lovely." Inside, I was thinking, what on earth is a shiso? The next day, I saw her again, this time leaving her house with a neat little box in her hand. It was wrapped in a soft patterned cloth. Curious, I asked, "Oh, is that your lunch?" She looked a bit surprised, then smiled. "Yes, Bento. You know Bento?" I shook my head. "Not really. Sounds like a name. Is it a person or a meal?" She laughed gently. "Meal. Homemade lunchbox. Small, but full of heart." I loved that phrase, immediately small, but full of heart. She opened the cloth and showed me what was inside. It was like art. Tiny sections of rice, vegetables, some grilled fish, a small piece of omelet, each perfectly arranged. Even the colors looked like they had been chosen on purpose. It made my soggy takeout sandwich look like a crime scene. The next day, there was a knock on my door. When I opened it, Mrs. Tanaka was there, holding a little box wrapped in another beautiful cloth. "For you," she said. "You looked hungry yesterday." I didn't know what to say. Thank you. You didn't have to." She shook her head. Sharing is happiness. I invited her in for tea. She accepted, politely removing her shoes at the door. Of course. While I poured the tea, she looked around and said, "Your home smells like coffee." I like coffee. In Japan, I drink tea, but coffee smells like energy. That made me laugh. You're right, it's how we survive our mornings here. As we sat and ate, she explained how Japanese people often make bento for their families before work or school. "It is not only food," she said, "it is love in a box." Something about that sentence stayed with me all day. In my culture, we show love in different ways, maybe by saying take care or giving a big hug. But for her, love was preparing something carefully, thinking about others, and giving quietly. No big gestures, no loud words, just quiet kindness. After that day, Mrs. Tanaka and I became friends. Sometimes she'd bring me a small dish to try miso soup, rice balls, or something she called onigiri. Once, I tried to return the favor by baking her a lasagna. I spent hours on it, but when I served it, she looked surprised. "Very big," she said politely, "for family of 10. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped the tray. "Yes," I said, "in my country, we don't know when to stop adding cheese." A few weeks later, I decided to make my own version of a bento. I wanted to surprise her and maybe prove that I could cook something small but full of heart too. I watched a dozen YouTube videos, bought a proper bento box online, and even found some shiso leaves at an Asian grocery store. When it was ready, I wrapped it with a scarf that looked vaguely Japanese and walked to her door. She opened it, looked at my box, and smiled with her eyes. "Clara's bento?" she asked softly. "Yes," I said proudly. "My first one." We sat in her garden and ate together. She tasted the rice and nodded approvingly. "Very good," she said. "You cook with heart." And that's when it hit me she wasn't talking about flavor. She was talking about the effort, the intention, the thought behind the food. It didn't matter that my rice was a bit sticky or that my omelet looked more like scrambled eggs. It was about caring. That afternoon, as we drank tea together, the wind carried the smell of soy sauce, green tea, and a little bit of laughter. I realized that kindness doesn't always speak your language, but it's always understood. So yes, my story began with an empty lunchbox, and it really did end with a full heart and a full stomach too, but mostly the heart part.
Great job! You've just completed another B1 level English listening practice. In this video, you learned new words about food, cooking, and friendship, and you heard a story about kindness across cultures. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel and share it with a friend who's learning English too. Keep practicing, keep listening, and we'll see you in the next video. One of the place and is station